Sup Ninja Online guys, and we have a problem. So, as you could probably figure out, this isn't the right music that's supposed to be playing here. It might be a little loud, I have to turn it down, but you won't notice how loud it is. Anyways though, so I recorded the last 6 chapters, which is 3 recording sessions, and guess what? Neither the game audio nor my voice audio actually recorded. So, the next 6 chapters from 31 to what, 38? 38, math Josh, to 36 are going to be pre-recorded commentaries now instead of live comms. Just because, like I said, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. I can't reload a save because I only made one save, which is partly my fault. You know, when you do a series on any game, you should make multiple saves, especially role-playing games. But neither here nor there. So yeah, we're just going to do commentary over the next 6 videos. Anyways, so when we last left off from this video, I had just come back to the castle after... Crap, what was the last thing we were doing here? We had just won a battle. No, the last thing we did was Kazim, I think? Making him surrender, taking the north without actually fighting. So now we're basically getting prepared to do the assault on the floating fortress. That's what we were doing. So, in the last video, Matthew had told us how he was planning to prepare X amount of boats because we were going to attack the floating fortress because the enemies wouldn't see it coming. And that's what was happening here in the video. The music isn't going to be synced at all. I probably could, if I took the time, find the right music and throw it in the right sections. The problem with that being, that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of work for something that doesn't necessarily need it, so I'm not going to do that. However, at least you guys get to hear the original soundtrack audio without it bugging out, so be thankful for that. Anyways, so to start this battle, we have to just go outside, and that progs this right here. Take a look at this, boss. The medical officer sure has some crazy ideas. I'll read the dialogue as we go. No kidding, using my thrash for something like this. Commander Ninja, please take a look at this. It's made all of ice. They froze it by using a dragon's breath. Incredible. It's floating alright and pretty sturdy too. Flashing lights warning is coming up soon. As promised, we have prepared 500 boats. We now await your orders, Commander Ninja. Alright, move forward. All forces moving forward. Alright, flashing lights warning. Battle at Floating Fortress Shazarazad. Also, the worst music for this, but whatever. So, I think I play this battle almost perfectly. If not, I do play it perfectly. I swear by my name of Sonya Shulin that I will defend the floating fortress. Hey, you're pretty cute. How dare you, you impertinent scoundrel. I'll lop off your head. So the first thing I wanted to do here, the first thing I did rather, was I went to others, and we were going to check out the tactics here. So I used my ninjas because it's a for sure, it's a guaranteed check. And I used that to see what they're going to do first. So, they're going to use Sonya's magic. Now, to counteract the magic, I can use the dragons, because the only thing that stops the dragon knights are bow attacks. So that's the first thing I do. I use my dragon knights just to kind of get a free turn. And because we use the dragon knights, we don't actually take any casualties ourselves. So we did 4,200 in casualties. We took none in that first turn. I go back to other and I use merchants because I'm just trying to see if I can turn anyone on the opposing team to our side. However, I think it's more of a chance to work if the enemy army is lower, like smaller in size, but I tried it in any case. So we pop ninjas again here just to check strategy so that I can have almost a guaranteed win, right? So they're going to use Sonya's charge. Counteract that, I use magic. So I go ahead and select magic there. And that's a guaranteed guaranteed kill. So that's 4,600 damage, or 4,600 troop losses that they just took. Casualties. That's the word I was looking for. Jesus, Josh. Ninjas again, just to see what they're doing. They're going to use charge attack. So again, I'm just going to pop magic. No reason not to. We could just charge in as well. Because we'll do, you know, equal amount of damage that they do to us. But the magic attack is a guaranteed maximum amount is damage and minimum amount of loss. So we did 4,000 troop damage there. So I sent in my thieves, which is it's a percentage-based chance to succeed. Unfortunately, Kryn is useless, so he didn't see anything. I decided to use strategists anyways, just to pump up my charge attack, because, you know, it's the best thing to do in this scenario. And then I charge in. Worst case scenario, they would have used magic, and then I would have took heavy losses. But you have to play the odds here. So charge would equal charge, and charge beats bow. So charge is the best thing to use here. Arguably, you can say that for any of them, because bow matches bow, bow beats magic, and then magic matches magic, magic beats charge. He didn't see what they were doing either, but really I just needed to chip them out. I was really hoping that it wasn't magic attack. Thankfully it was bow attack, so we took minimal losses. We ended with a 14,000 and we started with 15,000 troops, so that was a really good fight. Congratulations, we won. Yeah, we did it. I'm so sorry, Master Teo. Yeah, I'll be reading the dialogue as we go through, as if I was doing it in the live comm here. So now we're at Shrazraza. I decided to save, obviously, because, you know, we just finished the battle there. Unload the oil barrels. Commander Ninja, we will burn this fortress down with oil. To do so, you must go and close the floodgate at the far side of the fortress. As soon as it's closed, we'll pour the oil and set the fortress on fire. At the far end of the fortress. Yes, Kazumi has already scouted the area. Please choose your men. Ninja, let's get going. So Victor joins us. He's required. Ninja, Humphrey and I are going to pursue the survivors. So we can't use Flick or Humphrey here. My hands are full with the injured. Can't use Leakin, but we weren't going to use them anyways. We're going to take our normal party here. Cleo, Kirkus, Fusulu, and I think I take Kwanda here too. I kind of pondered on it for a little bit, because normally I would probably have took Flick, right? Even Humphrey would be a good choice, but Kwanda is a good, solid melee damage fighter. He's a tanky character, and he's just good for front line, which is what I was basing my party off of majority of the recording, if you guys didn't catch on. Fusulu is probably one of the tankiest characters. Kwanda's right up there too, right? Victor's just a pretty good attacker, so... Kirkus was obviously our healer. Cleo was our magic user. Both are ranged units as well, so that helps for getting rid of anything on back rows that I wouldn't want to survive. And then ourselves, obviously, we're pretty well rounded. We actually have the highest speed out of like probably almost all the characters, which is insane. So at this point, I didn't want to go into the floating fortress just yet. There was things I wanted to do off screen. First of which being, I wanted to go get Maze from Mace. I wanted to get Mace from Seek Valley, who is the highest magician that we can possibly have. Magician. Jesus, Josh. Highest blacksmith that we could possibly have. Before that, though, I was making my rounds, so I went to Saika just to see if I can recruit Antonio. I still didn't know at this point how to do it. I find out later, but I'm not going to spoil that quite yet. So, unfortunately, couldn't recruit him, so I left. I believe I had my little book beside me here, my notes. At this point, who was I missing? Antonio. I was missing Mace. Window. I was missing as well. I did find out how to recruit Window later on, but at this point in the game, I was unsure of how to do it still. So we talked to him. He doesn't join, and we leave Warrior Village. Unsatisfied, of course. Our next trip will be to the Dragon Knight's Fortress, because that's the only way to get to Seek Valley. You have to take the ride from the ride on Thrash from Dragon Knight's Fortress to Seek Valley. It's one of the very few locations you can't teleport to in game. Like Magician's Island, you can't because you never go back there after you get teleport. Seek Valley, you can't just because it doesn't let you. I don't think you can teleport to the Dwarf Vault. I may be mistaken on that though. You might be able to. Pretty much almost all the locations you can, but there's only a few that you can't. Come to think of it, maybe it's just Magician Island and Seek Valley, the ones that you can't actually physically walk to. So yeah, Mace is the last of the Queen Anther. I just wanted to show my prowess of how tough we are at this point in the game now. So the Queen Ant is actually the same, I believe it's the same level as the one that we fight later on. However, we just absolutely demolished that because, you know, we're basically level 50 and we're almost max upgrades, right? Like our weapons are what, level 15 at this point. We have pretty good armor, so we don't have to worry about taking damage. I get another encounter here. We actually hadn't seen a wyvern before, and I thought quickly, I don't think I said it here, but I was thinking like maybe I should fight this and just see. But then at the same time, I was contemplating not fighting it. I think in the end here, I end up using Hell and just getting rid of them that way. Also, I had to check Quanda's rune just to see what he had there, because I forgot what rune we gave him, which wind rune, I believe. Could be wrong. Yeah, I just decided to end up using Hell here just to make this an easy fight. Basically, anything from this point in the game onward, I'm just going to want to use Hell for, or Black Shadow, because that will get rid of them as fast as possible and easy as possible, and then, you know, we still get the experience for it, and I still get the money and rewards, but I don't actually have to go through the battle, which is good because it saves us resources. It saves me having to heal, having to use magic, stuff like that. So here he says if he bring his disciples Mas, Mies, Moose, and Mos to him, then he'll join us. So unfortunately, I had a feeling that I had to, but I wasn't positive. So at this point, I have to go either back to the castle or back to the floating fortress. Actually, I think it's the floating fortress, because I don't think anyone's at the castle. So I have to go back to the floating fortress to change out my party, which is bittersweet. It's not really any further out of my way, but I did have to go back to the castle anyways because I wanted to turn in the paint to the painter, and I think that was it. I think I might have wanted to use the bank too. Can't remember, but at this point we got Victor to level 50. If you can remember, Victor kind of had to disembark from our party for a little bit there as he went to go tell his village about Necklord's defeat and then got captured. So he was a little under-leveled up to this point, but we got him back there. Here I just figured I'd free will this because it's an easy fight with 6 high-level characters, right? Get some water into me. Back on Thrash we go because we're head back to the Dragon Knight's Fortress, and then from there we have to, well, like I said, first we go back to the castle. Despite the, you know, the emulator glitches here and there, mostly with sound, very little graphical glitches, and thankfully no game-breaking bugs. And then despite these last 6 chapters not having recorded audio in any regards, I really liked the way the series went and the way the series turned out. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys want to play this game, or at least, you know, you watched it and you went, dang, this was a really cool game, because to me it was probably one of my favorite games growing up. When I was playing it first, I was like, I don't know, like I said, 12 or so. I don't know if I told you guys at this point or not, or had attempted to, but yeah, when I first played it I was like 12 or so, so I was learning it, but I didn't understand it fully. So, you know, it's a process. I believe I went to detach here just because I wanted to check to see who had what in their inventories. I wasn't sure if anyone actually had anything I needed, and if they did, I was gonna have to detach them. Here I was just thinking, because it caught me off guard seeing Kasumi with all that stuff, and then I remembered like why he has all of it, pretty much. But yeah, the main point of going back to Lincoln Castle was to turn in the green paint, which we'll be doing in shortly here. I think the other reason I went detached was I wanted to see if the blacksmiths had anything on them. Because it's a scary run to have to make it to Mace with 4 blacksmiths, because that means basically you're relying on your character and one other character if you don't want to actually have to use the blacksmiths to fight, which are valid. Like they're valid characters to use. It's just I didn't want to take the time to level them up or upgrade their weapons or anything, knowing I wasn't going to. So here it's very unfortunate. I changed the sound audio in game to animals. So there was a cat's meow, a pigeon's like murmur, I guess. There was a tiger's roar. And there's one other noise if you do something that doesn't like actually work out. What I mean by that is like trying to move like a piece of equipment to someone's inventory that is full. You know how you got that like that other noise? Yeah. Unfortunately, you're not going to hear it, like I said, because the last 6 chapters of the game, including this one, don't have sound, but you know, it is what it is. This was the last paint I had to turn into Ivanov here. So with that, he completes the mural, which is a painting of not all of the characters, but it's supposed to be a general painting of the Liberation Army. So obviously we have our main character in the front. That's Victor right to our like to the left of our main character, and Cleo was to the right. You know, a bunch of characters there. Thank you, Ninja. I'm beginning to understand. That's I missed that. It's not much. Blah blah blah. Basically, he gives us binoculars. I don't know what the binoculars are for, even to this point. It might just be a passive buff or something, because you don't actually need it for anything in the game. So, I come here and I realize that neither Sanchez or Mathayu are here. It's for a very specific reason that we find out in a little bit. Next chapter. I think it might be the next chapter we find out. But in any case, yeah. Neither of the characters that allow you to change your party are here. So, like I said, unfortunately I have to go back to the floating fortress just to change my characters. But first I hit the end because I did spend some magic. And I knew I was going to need magic to help me get through Seek Valley. So, I also wanted to save, of course, too. Yeah, this game, it's probably my second favorite OST in any game. My first one's actually ODST, Halo 3 ODST. Probably one of my favorite original soundtracks in any game. So here I have to get rid of Fusulu, Quanda, Kirkus, and Cleo to be able to take the 4 blacksmith apprentices. There's Mos. There's Maz, Mies, there's Moose. Alright, so now that we have the 4 blacksmiths, I wanted to check the party real quick just to make sure, you know, one of the strongest ones were up front. Didn't really matter which one because I was going to try to avoid combat as best as possible. I think I go back to the fort. I know I go back to the castle here. I don't know if I go straight away to Dragon Knight's fortress or not. About to find out. Yeah, So I hit Sika here first on accident. I didn't actually mean to go here. I was just mashing A and ended up there, so. Now, we'll teleport over. So now we're back in Seek Valley. Anything I encounter, I'm just going to instantly be using Hell for, just to clear the field. That way I don't actually have to fight anything. And thankfully I have 4 charges of it, so it means I can get through at least 4 encounters, which is actually... what's the word I'm looking for here? It is important. Not the word I'm looking for. Prevalent, I think, is the word I'm looking for, because as you could just see, the blacksmith just power leveled to shit. So at least if I do have to take a fight here or there, the fights won't be too bad, because, you know, they'll at least be closer to the level they're supposed to be. I did also have Black Shadow, like I said. Unfortunately, I don't think Black Shadow will actually kill anything here in one turn. It would definitely weaken them a fair bit. Hopefully I'd be able to just kind of clean up after that. You never really know, though. Mega Medicine from that fight. Alright. Master! Here you are. You disappeared without warning. Master Mace, we are now members of the Liberation Army. We have not forgotten what you taught us. That is why we chose the path we deemed correct. Master Mace, please give us your support. You've all grown up. I was planning to rot away here alone, but perhaps I'll take on one more job. Master Ninja, I'm at your service. Mace joins. So he is the final blacksmith. He can upgrade our weapons to max, which in this game is level 16. It doesn't seem like it's worth it. One more extra level, you know, for all this extra work. However, I was trying to get all the characters in the game, all 108 stars. So it was, you know, it's prevalent to that, obviously. And you know what? Having that little bit of damage does make a difference, as we're going to see in future episodes with future boss fights. From this point in the game onwards, there's only really 2 major bosses left. There's one in the Floating Fortress, who's not a tough boss by any means. It just has a lot of health. And then the final boss of the game is actually the toughest boss in this game. So we'll have to see how that goes once we get to that chapter there. There are 2 other bosses along the way, but they are actually good fights on their part, but neither were, like, you know, make or break. So the blacksmiths basically got to level 50 before we left Seek Valley. Within 40, I would say 46 to 48 range, which is pretty good. So at this point, what I'm doing is heading back to Dragon Knight's Fortress, because I can leave from there. So I'm going to leave from the fortress to head back to Linky Castle, teleport to Sherazad, get my party that I'm going to enter the Floating Fortress with, and then head back to the castle so I can upgrade the weapons. So this chapter was just a lot of back and forth. Like I said, I wasn't really sure, well, the battle at the beginning, but I wasn't really sure the recruitment terms for, well, I didn't really know most of the recruitment terms for any of these characters, really, just because I was basically playing this with, like, you know, over a decade years of, or let me try that again. I basically haven't played this in over like a decade. Probably more than that. It's probably like 15 years since I last played this game. So it's definitely very faint memories. Good memories and, you know, strong memories, but also very faint memories. So there, I just gathered the party. I'm just going to set the formation so that the frontline fighters are on the front line. Interestingly enough, Quanda is actually a medium-range character. He doesn't need to be on the front line. It would be kind of stupid not to, though. He has such high defense naturally, and also he can wear like the best, not the best, but the most rewarding defense items, like the full armor and the full helmet and stuff like that. I think he even has a shield, doesn't he? Doesn't seem right, but he might have a shield. So here I'm just going to rest and then save, of course, and I think I need money, but I don't know if I go there right away or if I go there after. Yeah, I go there right away. So we'll go to Gasper to play CeeLo. Like I said, CeeLo is the best way to make money in this game by far, even without like abusing it on the emulator with save states. It's actually really safe and really easy to make money here. It just takes a little bit longer. So basically, after every hand, if I was playing this like on the PlayStation, I would have saved at the end, played my hand, and win, go back and save. Actually, no. When I used to do it, I used to just go until I hit max. If I had like lost all my money, I would just reload my save. Unfortunately, we didn't roll a hand there, so I loaded up my save state and we just tried again. I think he rolled a 3 in his first hand. I wasn't really paying attention, but unfortunately, we just didn't get a roll there. So we rolled a 4, which is a higher and harder number to beat. Basically, we need triples of anything but 1 or another 4 ourselves, as I rolled there. So because it's a draw, obviously no money was rewarded, so we just make the same bet. He rolled a 1, so that's a really easy one to beat. No pun intended. Just thought about that. And I rolled a 5, so that was easy money for us. It's 1, 2, 3, so he has to pay us double. Basically, I'm just grinding out for cash. You know the deal. 4, 5, 6, which is bad for us, so I reload. We would have to pay double. We rolled a 2. Nothing major. We rolled a 3, so we take that hand as well. Right now, I'm just trying to get to max money, and you'll see why once we start actually upgrading the weapons. 4, 5, and 6. Don't like to see that, so I reload. I probably could have got away with not having to be max money. Roll a 4. But I definitely would have not had enough cash either way. There's another 4, 5, 6. So that's just another reload. Or did we roll that? It's a 1. Maybe we rolled that. I've lost track now. That's a 2, so that puts us at max. So we're done with CeeLo for now. Thankfully, I don't need too much money for the rest of the game. So I think that was probably the last time I did grinding for cash. I could be wrong. Anyways, though, I jump in the bath real quick here just because of... if you guys remember from earlier episodes, I get an audio glitch when I gamble at Gasper's. After I leave Gasper's, there's no in-game music unless I leave the castle. And just because I knew I'd be around here for a while, I just jumped in the bath so it wasn't super quiet for the recording. But obviously it doesn't matter at this point. So yeah, 70,000 bits per level, and it only gets one more level. But like I said, it is worth it. Definitely worth it. So there we go. Just like that, everyone's max level weapons, and that took us almost 500,000 bits, so I definitely needed to get more money at any case. So here I'm just checking to make sure I'm ready to go into the floating fortress, making sure everyone has medicines, and I have all my extra stuff like an escape talisman, needles, antidote, stuff like that.